Good evening, students. So, according to your UT syllabus, second UT syllabus, two chapters of history and one chapter of civics, that is the directive principles of the state policy. So, today in this video, I am going to do the chapter number 2 of civics, directive principles of state policy. So, directive principles basically they are the principle which are being set by the Indian Constitution for the government to keep in mind while making or executing the laws. These are certain principles that whenever certain laws they are being made or those laws they are to be executed, so these principles they are to be kept in mind before framing or before executing those plans. These directive principles they are included in part 4th of the Constitution of India. There are 16 articles that deal with the directive principles of the state policy. So the major challenges which are being faced by our country are poverty, illiteracy, backwardness, unemployment, ignorance in many fields. So these problems cause hindrance to the prosperity of our country. So therefore, certain guidelines or directives are being made to overcome such situation and to improve the condition of the people living in the country. So the idea of directive principle was borrowed from the Irish constitution. The constitution makers they have made use of some of the rights which are mentioned in US constitution also, then France declaration of the rights of men, etc. So these principles basically their main aim is to establish a welfare state, which means to ensure maximum benefit to the maximum number of people. They are not justable. That is, that if we are not able to achieve these principles, so we can't approach the court. Whereas fundamental rights, when we are not getting our fundamental rights, we can approach the court. They are justable. Directive principles they are not justable. So the directive principles can be classified under some of the heads. So what are these heads? This we will discuss. The first one, it is the principle related to economic equality. Principle related to economic equality. According to this, the government should strive to reduce inequality in income so that wealth is not concentrated in the hand of a few people. That is, to remove the gap between the rich and the poor. No discrimination between men and women regarding their education and employment. Men and women should get equal pay for equal work. That is, equal pay for equal work. The working conditions in mills, factories, offices should be such that workers do not suffer hardship, and each and every facility should be given to them. The government should ensure that every citizen get employment and adequate wages. There should not be reduction in the wages, and also the relief to elderly, sick and the disabled persons. So some special provisions will be made for these people. The second one, the main one, it is the another second underhead, that is the Gandhian principle or principles relating to social equality and educational uplift. Once again, Gandhian principle or principles related to social equality and educational uplift. So these principles they refers to Gandhian principles. The first one, compulsory and free education for all children up to the age of 14. The state shall put an end to exploitation of the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes. Nobody will be considered they will be treated equally in the society. No should be prohibition for the use of drinks like wine and drugs. The state shall devise as far as possible a common and uniform code of conduct for all the sections of the society. more development of cotton scale industry, cottage scale industries. Basically these are the small scale industries, and handicrafts in villages. And then the most important, establishment of Panchayati Raj system. Panchayat system should be there, where Sarpanch as well as 5 Panch will be there, those who will be looking after the problems of the people living in the villages. The next main principle, it is a principle related to law, justice and administration. Principle related to law, justice and administrations. Now the judiciary should be separated. Earlier it was working combinedly, now they should be separated. Executive department will be different, legislative department will be different, and judiciary courts, they will be different. The judges of the Supreme Court and High Courts, they will not be, their decisions will not be influenced by the government. Then the institution of the Panchayati Raj shall be revived, so that the political power is decentralized. Decentralized means distribution of functions and powers to different levels. Clear? The next, it is a principle for international peace, that foreign affairs to be removed, there should be friendly and good relations between the different countries of the world, should give a proper respect to international laws. The state shall favor and encourage international peace and security. Okay. Then miscellaneous principle, those who are not coming under any head. Every citizen of India should respect the cultural heritage of the country and protect the historical monuments, buildings. Uniform system of civil and criminal laws in the country, equally applicable to all. It should not be that if rich they are doing something, so they will not be punished, or poor will be doing something, they will be punished. So no distinguish on the basis of rich or poor, high or low, educated or illiterate. So it's very important. Next, it is the directive principles and fundamental rights. Directive principles, I told you that these are the some of the policies which are being made by the government in order to work properly. Okay, but there is a major difference between the two. Directive principle, they are the guidelines, whereas the fundamental, they are for the citizens. The citizen of India, they have to claim for their, if there is violation, if we are not getting fundamental rights, we can approach to the court. But if we are not able to achieve our directive principles, we can't approach to the court, because these are not justable. Okay, so this was a small chapter which we have done. So again one small revision. Directive principle direct the government to take suitable measures to promote the welfare of the people. They are being grouped under different heads. The first one, it is related to economic equality, then Gandhian principle, then administrative importances, miscellaneous principles, etc. Then directive principles, they are non-justable, and they plays a very important role in the political life of our country. So we have to keep all these in the mind. Now the exercise. First one, prohibition on use of intoxicating drinks. This policy can be classified under the head of Gandhian principles. You can tick the correct option. B part, Gandhian principle. How many articles? 16 articles. From which this idea has been taken? From the Irish constitution. Compulsory education up to 14. And directive principle are guidelines for government. Third one Irish, fourth one 14, and fifth one, it is the guidelines for government. Now fill in the blanks. Directive principles are given in part 4. B part, the state shall endeavour to provide employment to every concerned with economic equality. Second one, economic equality. Third one, law, justice and administration. Law, justice and administration. Next, fourth point, it is miscellaneous I have written in short. You will write the complete spelling. MISCELLANEOUS. Once again, MISCELLANEOUS. You will write the complete spelling. And the last one, it's a Gandhian principle. Please write principle complete. I have written in short. You are not going to write in short. Okay, complete you will write down. The first one, it is fourth. Second one, economic equality. Third one, law, comma, justice and administration. Fourth one, miscellaneous. Please write the complete spelling of miscellaneous. And the fifth one, Gandhian principle. Column A to B, directive principle are non-justable. The judiciary should be separated from executive. Third one, children up to the age of 14 should be given free and compulsory education. And the fourth one, it's a code of conduct, should be common and uniform for all sections of the society. Clear?